Everybody, I wanted to revisit this pedal. I've been using it for a year, the Keeley Dark Side pedal. I'm using it on practically every video I've done, and I wanted to say a little bit more about it because when I first got it, I talked a little bit about it, but I've been using it for a year, so I hope you'll watch as I kind of revisit my original comments on this awesome pedal. Like I said, I got this Keeley Dark Side pedal about a year ago. It was about 300 something bucks. I think it might have come down a little bit, but I paid around 300 bucks for it. And it's obviously modeled after the David Gilmour sound. It's got the little Dark Side of the Moon pyramid there. You know what? And I've got a bunch of clips. I'm going to intersperse a few clips. But my main takeaway is that it's a good classic rock sounding pedal. Well, I'm not going to try to walk you through all the details of this pedal, but you can see here, it's got a delay side and a fuzz side. The fuzz side's pretty straightforward. It's a great fuzz. It's a Big Muff 1977 style fuzz. This is the area I thought was a little, you can hear, here's the clean sound. Let's put a little delay on it. And you know what? Others might be more fancy than I am, but I usually just leave it pretty low. Because with the fuzz, I usually just leave it like that. It just leaves you with that kind of Grand Canyon sound. I think if you want one of those fancy delays that does all that kind of 80s digital stuff, or you know, looping and anything, I would get some other pedal. But if you just want a good ambient delay, I think it's good. You've got flange and rotary over here. You turn this all the way to one side, you get flange. That old Three Dog Night. And then you turn it this way, and you get a rotary speaker. I'm going to get a wound G-string on this Gibson. And this adds to your wet signal. This adds the depth. Adds the rate. One thing is when you're in the modulation modes are to the left and the right. The middle is delay. So this side is flange and rotary. When you go over all the way to this side, you're on the entirely flange. You go all the way to this side, you're entirely rotary. And then it's analog, at least in the way it's set up. It's like analog. You can kind of that would be half when you're at the 12 o'clock position. You're half flange and half rotary. So you go over to this side. You've got a phase. I guess this would be the phase shifter here. And then if you go over to this side, you have a univibe. Now, I did use that univibe for a Robin Trower track. I don't know if I used it that effectively, but it did give a univibe. And see, that to me is kind of cool, because if you want a univibe, there aren't, that's a big designated pedal. It's usually almost, I think the ones I've seen, they're usually like a wah-wah pedal. And there's a little univibe. You just hit that switch. Now, when you hit that switch, you will lose your delay. But if you've got good reverb on your amp, I didn't notice it too much. Lazy man's pedal. It's just basically, to me, a really good fuzz and delay unit in one little pedal, and I can stick it by my chair. I'm like Archie Bunker. I've got my little chair here, and I try to play almost every day. That's probably why I upload so many videos. But that's how I keep playing. I just almost every day I play. But this is just a one-stop shop. I've got 2 pedal boards with fuzz and delay, but it's all on here. And it's a good classic fuzz. And I'm a big fuzz guy. And to me, the fuzz is the classic rock sound. It's a pedal that came out of the 60s. I guess it's even older than that, but it can't kind of, like Keith Richards, Can't Get No Satisfaction. I always think of songs like Spirit in the Sky by Norman Greenbaum, American Woman by the Guess Who. Those are some early, Green-Eyed Lady by Sugarloaf, and I do all those, and I love that. That's that old school late 60s fuzz, and this has got it, which is basically the Pink Floyd sound. And then you have delays in the middle. And mostly what I use is fuzz and delay. And that to me is the classic rock sound, which is the David Gilmour sound. The classic rock sound is fuzz and delay, if you ask me. And I don't know too many pedals that have fuzz and delay on a little one pedal unit like that. That's the selling point to me. Not that, it can, if you set it just right this way, you can do Us and Them. And if you set it right just that way, you can do, Careful with That Axe, Eugene, or Astronomy Domini, or just, anything. But if you just want a really good classic rock sound, which to me is the heart of the David Gilmour sound, and of course, no matter how well you set the pedal, you still have to have his fingers in your brain. So, good luck with that. But you do have in one little unit, you've got a really good fuzz and delay, and it's an old school fuzz. And I also, I think fuzz is such a good effect. I guess it's not that different than distortion or overdrive, but I always go for a fuzz. I'm not even that sure what the difference is, but I whenever I have a choice, I buy a fuzz. Because to me, that's that old school sound, late 60s, early 70s fuzz. Carlos Santana. Fuzz. And this has got it, and it's a delay in one unit, and you don't need a pedal board. The delay is kind of funny. So I think if you really want a fancy delay, if you're really into delays, you might not want this pedal. But to me, the takeaway is the main thing is if you want a really good pedal where you have fuzz and some ambient delay for that kind of Grand Canyon sound, or I should say in the amphitheater at Pompeii sound, but that kind of Grand Canyon, big, cavernous sound, this pedal will do it. You just crank the fuzz and add delay, and it's there, And, that I read an article years ago. I couldn't find it now, but I was in an interview with David Gilmour, and he said people are always going on and on about his tone. And how do you do it? And they always imagine, $50,000 worth of racks and everything, which I'm sure Pink Floyd had all that. But he said really his tone was basically delay and fuzz, maybe a few other things on certain songs, but that was the heart of his tone was delay and fuzz. And he said you could get it if you walked into any music store. You could buy it just with gear off the rack in 30 minutes, buy the stuff to make a sound. To me, it just provides a really good, definitely David Gilmour sound. I feel like I got a pretty good David Gilmour sound. Maybe not right on, but I definitely thought it sounded pretty good. Well, thanks. God bless. I just kind of wanted to say that because I use this pedal all the time. And I did a little review of it when I first got it. And I just been using it a lot more, and I feel like I have a more relaxed take on it. I'm still not the guy to look for a lot of technical explanations for everything. But I do know if you crank the fuzz, put it on that middle toggle switch in the delay side, and don't use too much delay because it's kind of funny, but just find a setting you like. You'll get a really nice sound. Thanks. God bless.